when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never go, 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 yo, go, go, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range, cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They'll deceive with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I am extremely excited to be filming this video today because we are finally going to be doing a modification to my Silverado. We're going to be taking a break from the Jeep content for a little while because this guy needs some love. So I am extremely excited to be starting this. This is a modification I've been wanting to do for years now, and I just now finally have the means and the parts, everything acquired to do it. So I've yet to show you guys the truck on the channel, this truck on the channel, but this is my 2005 Silverado 1500 Z71. It's Ming blue metallic, kind of a rare color. You don't see it that often. And it currently rides like complete garbage. So I bought this truck when I was 16 years old. It's my first truck. It was completely stock when I got it, except for a 3-inch body lift. I've grown to hate body lifts since then, but it was already on there. I'm not going to take it off. I have tried to take it off, but I live in Illinois and the bolts aren't going to come out of the cab, to be all honest with you guys. So when I turned I'm 22 now. When I turned 18, so about 4 years ago, I got a leveling kit, you know, the torsion keys and bigger rear blocks. So I upgraded to a 3-inch rear block and absolutely maxed out these lift keys because I put 22 by 12s on it with spacers and it wouldn't turn, you know, it wasn't clearing. So maxed out the 3-inch keys in it, 3-inch rear blocks, and it sits about even with a 6-inch lifted Silverado. It is tall. I love it. I love how it sits, but I can't handle the ride anymore. It rides so rough, and it's so bad and everything. Everything's starting to wear out, and I've knocked the pins loose for the upper control arms. So I got this wheel completely cambered out. It's terrible. And now just recently a CV boot finally ripped, and the truck just turned over 220,000 miles, and I've done inner tie rods, pitman, nyler arm. That's all it's been done. The rest is, I got it at 160,000, so it's due. It's all due to be replaced. And what we're going to be doing is a 4-inch rough country suspension lift, and I'm going to crank it down as low as possible. I don't want the truck to ride any higher. I like how it sits. My wheel's clear, but I just can't take the ride. So when you lower those kits, I have friends with the rough country kit, and if you have it turned all the way down, the ride quality is amazing compared to this. This is all I've ever ridden in, so it's pretty amazing. So I have that kit, and it's actually at powder coat now. So we're going to be doing some colors. Here's a little sneak peek actually of what I have done. The antenna and the rear diff cover are illusion cherry. So if that gives you a hint what color it's going to be, because not much goes with blue. I don't know. So just to show you guys what we're working with now, the outer tie rods are done for. Lower ball joints are actually holding up. The upper is completely pinched. It's super bad, and we are resting on the bump stop. So the control arm sitting on the bump stop is the reason the ride is so bad, and that's just due to the keys being cranked all the way. And I have seen rumors, not rumors, Facebook group pictures of people that have their keys cranked for a long time and actually end up cracking the frame of these trucks. Mine is fine right now, but that's been in the back of my head since I saw the post and all the other people commenting about it. So we have to knock this out because this thing's my baby, and if it has a cracked frame, I can't keep it. That's just, I don't care if I fix it, it's not right, I don't want it. Also, I did order, well, we have them, they're at Powder Coat also, the Kryptonite upper control arms. So they just came out probably 2 months ago with the Kryptonite kit for the 1500s. They've been out for 2500s forever. So we got those. We got Kryptonite tie rod sleeves. Lower ball joints are going to be Kryptonite. Obviously the control arm with the upper ball joint. Bolt kit. That's all coming from Kryptonite. And I already do have one Kryptonite hub in it, so I ordered the other one. We'll swap that out in the new Rough Country knuckle. My bad, it must have been a while. The key has, I consider that max. It's got one thread left in it. So that's how high the keys are. And then there is our 3-inch rear block. They come factory with 2, so we got an inch of lift in the back. So that's enough of me talking, but here's the truck. The teardown starts tomorrow, so I'm just out here in one of my favorite photo spots with it, getting a few last pictures of it, because once we put the kit on, we'll be putting my 22x12s back on, which I have out for winter, and the truck should look amazing and be ready for summer. So here's the last look at it on a 3-inch body and just completely max keys and a 3-inch rear block. Alright guys, so we're going to start tearing this down today. We got to get the lower control arms out and the sway bar for sure, because I have to get them to powder coat so they can get started on that for hopefully next week to get everything back together. So we're going to get that pulled apart. We're probably going to try to get the whole thing pulled apart today so I can start painting on it this weekend. But those are the main things we got to get done today. Alright guys, so we got the sway bar end links unbolted, and I broke loose all the bolts on the CV axles because they are original, and I want to make sure I broke those loose before I lifted the truck off the ground because I don't have someone here to hold the brakes or anything. So those are broke loose. Sway bar end links are out. I want to get one more measurement from the fender flare to the ground just so we can check how much lift, so we can set the lift how I want it pretty much, and I just want to know how much lift I can get out of it. So we are right at 43 inches now from the ground to, sorry, there's birds running all over the place. So we're 43 inches now from the ground, fender flare. Let's check the other side. 42 and a half. So the ground isn't super level here. We'll just go off those measurements the way it's sitting. So also, actually it is pretty level. This thing's probably sitting sideways. It's pretty clapped out. So now we're going to get the truck up on jack stands and get the rest of it taken apart. Alright, now that we got the truck jacked up and secure, we're going to pop this axle nut off, get the axles out, brakes apart, all this out of the way. I don't have someone here to hold the brakes, and yes, this is my torque wrench. Yeah, it's not going to be calibrated after this. I'm sure we're going to ruin it, but it's all I got right now. So we're going to get this apart and then dive into the control arms. All right, I want to give you guys a little update where we're at on the teardown. Next, all I gotta do is get a pickle fork and pop out the tie rod end and the upper and lower control arm. All the bolts are loose. Just out of curiosity, I did just try to throw a breaker bar on the upper control arm bolt, and that nut just snapped clean off for like no pressure, so that's great. It's fine, I got new hardware for that already. The sway bar, we do have completely out. Those bolts scared me. It took everything to get them out. That's a terrible design. Water just pools in there and salt, and yeah, so sway bar end links will sawzall out because I am gonna powder coat these control arms, new bushings, ball joints for that. Here's our sway bar. I have new hardware and bushings. So both sides, this is where we stand. So this axle nut will not come off. So I have new CV axles coming for this, and I have a new kryptonite hub in the house anyways. So I'm just gonna take the whole knuckle as one unit and just get it out of here. So that's the plan now. We're gonna get pickle forks. We're gonna pop off these ball joints and these tie rods and get this entire knuckle out of our way. Before I forget, look at this. So the axle nut won't come off, which means this hub probably wouldn't have come out of this knuckle. Look at this knuckle. I mean, it wouldn't have. And the lower ball joint wouldn't for anything come out, come free from the knuckle. So I pulled this entire this entire control arm with the axle and the hub, everything as one unit. It was terrible. It was heavy. I don't recommend it, but it's out, so we're good to go. All right, guys. Well, I have been fighting this for a few hours now, and we're finally torn down to here. The upper control arm, I got to figure out how to get that out, but I'm thinking that's going to just require the Sawzall. And then I got this unbolted. We are going to start grinding down the frame and get it as nice as possible looking before we hit it with paint. I'll probably just, I'll take them off and then I'll paint. So I will figure out this control arm and get the tie rod off, and then we'll start cleaning it up. All right, guys, so the teardown ended up taking forever because we ran into some Illinois truck with 200,000 mile problems. So most of you probably won't have this, but let me just show you real quick before we move on. So this is one control arm. Here's one, I left that one together. There's the ends of it. So I ended up cutting here with the Sawzall. It took forever, but that was the only way I could get these upper control arms out. The bolt was seized in there. There was no pounding the bolt out. We used an air hammer. I had a little bonfire with it. It was glowing red. It wouldn't come out. So eventually I just sat there with the Sawzall, kept cutting, and that's how we ended up getting it out. We pried out the steel a little bit and for the mounts, and it came out. It bent right back. I do have these alignment pins ordered from Kryptonite too, because we knocked a couple of them out, but hopefully those go back in. That's kind of stressing me out. But so yeah, teardown took forever, but if you're doing this down in the south or out west, wherever there's not salt on the road, you won't run into those problems. That was just simply because of where I live, because we also had to take the knuckle, the axle, I mean everything. Sway bar isn't going to come off here unless I cut it. We just took, to save time, took the entire thing because I have new stuff, but I mean, everything was junk. But that was the only way all that would come off. And the upper, like I said, had to be cut out, pried, everything. While I was letting batteries charge, as you can probably tell, I cleaned up this side. This is as best as it's gonna get. It's smooth. I mean, it obviously looks like a teenage girl with acne underneath the paint, but you can't ask for much better. So yes, this side I did already paint. I just threw a first coat on that and rust converter first and everything. So now, while that's drying, we're gonna clean up over here, scrape off the POR 15 and the 6 years of Rust-Oleum over this every summer. So we'll get that cleaned up and then get this side painted as well, and then work on the diff drop and start installing the new parts. Finally, thank God. And then our torsion bars are over there. They are drying too. We got a coat of paint on them. All right, guys, I just want to take a quick second and talk about the paint I'm using. Steel It is awesome. I used it on the rear axle. I did the same process I'm doing on the front, on the axle last summer, and this winter I had the axle completely white with salt. I mean, just caked on there, and it's been through a million car washes, a year's worth. It's the only paint I've used that hasn't just completely been crap. I used POR on the frame last time, and since the metal wasn't rusty enough, it's just coming off in sheets. I'll show you when I'm cleaning up the front. But this stuff, I believe in it now, so that's what we're gonna do on the front. And then I'm gonna try to top coat it with Rust-Oleum this time, just because I'm curious. It almost has, since it has stainless in it, I'm assuming why, it almost has like a gray finish. I don't know, I kind of like it. I haven't decided if I'm gonna top coat it yet. You don't need to. This is a top coat, but it's also, you can weld right through it. It's the coolest paint ever. It's like $30, $40 a can. So I'm gonna spray it on it like crazy because I trust it, but if you might, first time you use it, you might just want to buy one can. But yeah, Steel It, awesome stuff. So here's a good spot to show you what I'm talking about with the POR. This, all I use is a scraper, and it scraped right off because this was clean metal. If you have like POR on this, would work great. It's just, when it's clean metal, it has nothing to bite into. It's called, POR stands for paint over rust, if you didn't already know that. So I'm just gonna show you real quick. This is what happens when you do it on clean metal. If I can, I don't know if I can get any left. I pretty much got the easy stuff, but as you can kind of see here, it's like that's actually rusty. So this POR is dug right in, and it's gonna have to take the wire wheel to get it off there. There's some clean metal. It'll flake right off. It's hard to show you now because I got all the easy parts not thinking about it. There's one. There, you see it. You get what's going on. So that's why we're using this other paint, just because my truck isn't, believe it or not, isn't rusty enough for this. So, yeah. Wish I had a pressure washer out here. Why do I smell gear oil? I'm just kidding.
And the front is close. Not in the rear.
How did they do it? Put an extension. It's good.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice black powder coat. Look at that, the lid kit is actually starting. I should have grabbed the rubber mallet. God damn it.
Do you need it?
No. That's close enough. Mine does. Good. The other mounts on the front, or the front bracket, which I left at home. Front cross member. I couldn't fit it in my car. So. Alright guys, I just want to update you real quick. We got the diff drop pretty much done. I'm about to put the front cross member in. I want to show it to you real quick out in the sun before I put it under the truck because this powder, it looks amazing. Why is it gotta be windy every day? So this is Super Chrome 2. It just looks nuts. It's not chrome, but it's like a polished aluminum. It's what I wanted. And then the Illusion Cherry. Looks amazing. It's an awesome color. So we have our rear cross member in. That is just gloss black. I told them the glossiest black they could find because the rough country black's kind of a semi-gloss, you know, textured black. So that's in. Diff's down here. Here's the frame. I never really stopped to show you guys. This steel lit paint, it's like powder coat in a can. It's just super hard, a super hard finish. So that looks good so far. The frame's as best it's gonna look. Like I said earlier, it's bumpy and, you know, it's a 17-year-old, 220,000 mile frame. I'm happy with this. So everything's cleaned up, diff's dropped. I'm gonna get this cross member put in. This side's done. And then the only thing is the non-torsion bar drop brackets that bolt on the lower control arm. Those are actually at powder right now. I forgot to bring them when I took the rest of the lift. They said they can knock it out in a couple days, so we'll see how quick those get done. So my goal is to pretty much get everything ready. So it's just I gotta put those brackets on, throw the torsion bars in, and put the knuckle on, and the truck should be done. So I'll start a time lapse of getting this put in here, and yeah. Alright guys, I am so excited to put this on. You're probably thinking, why is this dude tweaking out over the cheapest lift kit they make? But I worked super hard and I've waited for this forever. So I'm pumped. You can get mad with this. It's awesome. If I can do it by myself. Oh yeah, that's sick. That's exactly what I wanted. Alright guys, we're to the finally to the kryptonite parts, which is really exciting. Tighten up the bolt-in ball joint on the upper control arm. I'd already put the one side in, I'll show you guys that in a second. Let me tighten this up real quick. Alright boys, this is the passenger side. I already got this one in. Nothing's tight, obviously it's covered in fingerprints, yeah. But just look at how amazing these look. The frame, everything, this truck is gonna look exactly how I pictured it. We already got the kryptonite tie rod and sleeves on too. So yeah, we're making progress, but I'm gonna try to get these knocked off tonight, throw the lowers in so I can torque everything down. And then tomorrow, Hopefully our torsion bar drop bracket is back from powder coat because I forgot it. I think I said that. So once that gets done, we'll finish this up. But wow, guys, I'm absolutely obsessed. All right, guys, got the driver's side in. Sorry, I'm not really getting much footage for you what I'm doing because I have no one here to film and I can't really set up a camera in here, but sorry. But everything's in here. I'm not gonna tighten anything down yet, so now I'm gonna slap the lowers in just because it says put those in and then torque everything down. So we'll get the lowers up in there and then we'll torque down the cross members and the diff drop bolts. I mean, can we just take a minute though? These under the rock lights, oh, they look so awesome. All right, guys, it's getting late and kind of cold, so I'm gonna hurry this up. But here's the lowers out of the box. They are Moogs, and they are completely pre-assembled, bushings, ball joints, everything because of how those came out. So I did buy the Kryptonite lower ball joints. Sorry, you probably can't see me. How's that? I did buy those, but because of how those came out, everything, I wasn't just gonna press new ball joints in those ones. And the fact that you can buy these just pre-assembled, already done up, it's saving a ton of time. And they're already, the plan was to powder coat those. Then I realized it'd be stupid for me to spend a day of time taking those apart to sandblast, powder coat them, put everything together. So save time and money, bought these complete. They just don't have a Kryptonite ball joint, but if it blows out in another 200,000 miles, I mean, I'm not gonna wait that long, I'm joking. Hopefully it lasts that long, that'd be sweet. But yeah, I'm just telling you, it won't be Kryptonite. So I'm gonna put these in real quick. It just uses factory hardware. And then I think we're gonna call it a night till tomorrow. All right, guys, I want to take a quick second and talk about the CV axles that we're going to be putting in the truck. So with a lifted Cateye, it's kind of a popular thing now, but if you don't know about it, you can put a 07 to 13 CV axle in a 99 to 06 Silverado that has a rough country lift kit on it, because the knuckle being pushed, the rough country knuckle pushes your front track out, and the kit comes with a 2-inch spacer. So in the rough country kit, you get a spacer that goes onto this, and then you use your factory CV axle, and it pushes out to make up for the difference in the knuckle pushing the wheel out. So an 07 to 13 CV axle, as you can tell with them side by side here, is just under 2 inches longer than a 99 to 06. So since I was replacing them anyways, I went with I got them for a 2010 Silverado, you know, it doesn't matter. But with those in here, then our angles are going to be, even though this lift is going to be turned all the way down, the angles are going to be even better, and you don't have to run an ugly plastic spacer on there. So it's kind of a win-win. If you're doing this, you might as well, and you have to get new axles anyways, like in my case, you might as well just upgrade. All right guys, due to me being an idiot, we are as far as we can go on the truck today. It could have been done if I would have remembered all the parts when I went to the powder coater, because our non-torsion bar drop bracket is at the powder coater right now, and he says it'll be done tomorrow or Friday. So now we gotta wait. That's my fault, and it sucks. But we have the knuckle ready. Everything's torqued, the hub's torqued in that. We have our sway bar end links. Yeah, everything's as far as we can go. Tie rods. Our sway bar is also at powder coat. I'm sorry, I forgot that. So once those two parts are done, we'll slap that bracket on, slap the torsion bars in that are over there all painted nice, and this thing will be done. So for you guys, it'll be like a 2-second wait, but for me, I have to wait days. So you're lucky. I'm so excited that I really don't want to leave. I just want to look at it. Oh man, it's just gonna look really, I'm so excited, guys. The illusion cherry on the knuckles, the arms, everything, it's just gonna look so good. Our non-torsion bar drop bracket that bolts right here is illusion cherry, as well as the sway bar and the end links. So these are our brackets for the sway bar end links, but the actual sway bar itself is illusion cherry. That random diff mount that you'll never see is, and I just love that color. It's just enough color. It's not gaudy. It just pops when you look close. So I'm excited. Time to wait. All right, guys, it's been like 5 or 6 days now, and I finally just got back from the powder coat shop and got the rest of the parts, the torsion bar drop brackets and the sway bar end links. So it's like 8:30. I just have school and I at work in the morning, but we're gonna try to get this truck back together and knocked out tonight so I can get it off of these jack stands. Everything's ready but this. So I'm gonna get to it, knock this out, and then I'll show you guys when it's all put together. We'll talk about it. Let's go. All right, guys, I just finished up, I think, everything on the front end. I'm gonna put the tires on, but I wanted to show you guys before I put the wheels on so you can get a close look at everything. It looks awesome in my opinion, but I want your opinion, so here it is. Illusion cherry on the knuckle. I don't have that plugged in. I'm just gonna get the weight of the vehicle, of the truck down before I plug that in. I don't wanna rip it. There's our tie rod sleeves, our sway bar. We ended up doing illusion cherry, new bushings. Yeah, the shocks are hose clamped because the mount hasn't showed up yet, but they're good. Looks ghetto, but it works. Oh, and we ended up, that's what we were waiting for, the torsion bar drop bracket. But all in all, I think it looks really sweet. The brakes ruined the entire thing. I need new brakes, but that'll be the next video. So I'm gonna get the wheels on this thing, and I have the torsion bars as low as they can go, and we'll see where it's sitting, and then we'll just adjust the ride height and get the alignment tomorrow. Well, it's on the ground. Battery's dead now. What else can go wrong, right? I didn't realize it sat that long. So we're gonna start this thing, and the alignment is completely out of whack. I mean, I got this side fine, but this side, I think that's fine. I don't know what the problem is. I'm just kidding. So the tie rod sleeve is not really budging. I'm having a problem with it, and the alignment shop's right down the street, and I think I'm just gonna let them deal with it because I'm kind of over it. So I'm gonna start this thing up, let it run for a minute, see if it'll drive in a straight line, and if it doesn't, then we have a long night ahead of us again. I'll be right back. All right, hopefully you guys can hear me, but we just picked up the truck from getting the alignment, and trying to find a well-lit parking lot so I can film the outro and show you guys what it looks like. So give me a second, but hopefully I can find something bright enough. The old abandoned Dollar General really coming in clutch tonight with the lights. Hopefully you can see good enough. So we just picked it up from the alignment. It's driving absolutely amazing. Riding better than it's ever ridden with me, since I've pretty much had it on cranked keys for the past 6 years now. Yeah, straight as an arrow, everything's solid. The only thing not done is the I am waiting for the new sway bar end links to show up. I did, like I told you guys, I had the ones that came with the kit powder coated, so I pressed the bushings out of them. I called Rough Country. I checked everywhere. I can't buy the bushings for them. You can't just get bushings for the sway bar end links from Rough Country. So I have just a new set of end links coming. It really sucks because they were Illusion Cherry too, and it would have looked really clean, but you know, it is what it is. So those aren't here. And then also I need you guys' opinions, so comment below, because I can't make up my mind with the reservoir, the external reservoir shocks here. I have them obviously hose clamps so I can drive it, but they come with a mount to the frame here, which I personally think would look pretty sick. And then they also, Bilstein makes a mount to mount them exactly how they are right there. It's not a hose clamp, it's actually meant for it, which also looks really good there. It almost looks like a dual shock setup. It's either one would look pretty sick. But comment below and let me know which one you think would look better on the truck. But yeah, I'll just show you real quick. Sway bar, Illusion Cherry, Kryptonite tie rod sleeves, not the actual Kryptonite tie rods. It's the only part that isn't fully Kryptonite, but the sleeves are also very nice. Uppers, Bilstein 5160 external reservoir shocks. New Moog lowers. There's the 07 to 13 CV axles in there. That's one of the best angles I've ever seen. I have the keys. Like I said, I did have the 3-inch lift keys. I hope you guys can see me, I don't really know. I had the 3-inch lift keys in this truck, pretty much maxed out, and I was worried if I put those keys back in with this kit, since this is technically a 6-inch lift, that this truck was going to be way higher than I wanted it. I only really wanted it about an inch higher. So I traded my buddy. I gave him my lift keys, and I took his factory keys out of his Cateye and swapped those in. And I actually was shocked. I only have about a 1/2 inch left of thread to tighten these keys, and I got it. I had them set as low as I could, and the truck was on the bump stops, and it was the exact same height it was with just the keys cranked up. So I was a little disappointed. So I turned those up, and I have a 1/2 inch of thread left, and it is sitting exactly 1.5 inches higher than it was prior to the lift. We talked about the measurements at the beginning. It was 43 up front, and now we are at 44.5. And it's just about, there's about a 1/2 inch gap from the bump stops, and it is squatting pretty hard right now. I have the jack stands, both my toolboxes. I have all that crap in the bed, so that's not helping. I like it how it's sitting. just a little lean, little baby lean is looks better than raked out in my opinion. I had it an inch lower in the back with the cranked key, so now we're probably 2 inches lower in the back. I didn't fully measure, but I mean, I'll give you a good side shot. It's not squatted, it's just leaning back, and little baby lean never hurt anybody. So I'll probably leave it for now, and we'll see. I can always get a bigger block. It's got a 3-inch block now, so we could always do 4. I think would be perfect. But yeah, there's everything in there looking great. Knuckles, Illusion Cherry. It's dirty now because just when I drove it there, it was raining, so you know how it goes. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It rides amazing as a really turned down lift kit was supposed to. It's what I wanted. So technically I would say we're sitting at about 4.5 inches of lift on a 6-inch rough country, just turned all the way down. And the Bilstein 5160s, I'm pretty certain that that's really helping our ride quality. And then there's the non-torch motor drop brackets, Illusion Cherry also. So we are waiting for the sway bar end links. I will get those put in. That's not a big deal, obviously, to me at least. And then I wanted to get this filmed now because now that it's aligned and everything, I want to get my 22s back on this immediately. I haven't had them on there in like a year now, and I'm really missing them. So stay tuned for that video. I'm gonna probably start filming it tomorrow, hopefully, if I get time, because it's just gonna be a short one, but I want to get them on and show you guys, because if you look at the Duramax, that's my buddy. So if you look at the picture on the top of my channel, I think it is it's in front of the airport hangar, and it's got the 22 TISs on it in that picture. But other than that, you guys haven't seen them on this truck yet, and it is gonna look different because it's obviously a little taller, and with all the powder coat, it's just gonna look better in an alignment because they were sideways before. And I forgot to mention, with the oversized tires that I have, they're just under a 33 on the stock wheel. When I went to put them back on the front, the tire was, I don't know if you can see, it was hitting the knuckle right here. So I put the 2-inch spacers back on the front, which as you probably know, the rough country knuckles push out the front wheels about 2 inches. So I don't know, the wheel's straight right now. We've got like a killer pre-runner look going on. Yeah, you can't tell. Where my front wheels are just sticking way out. So when I put the 22s back on, we will be pulling the front spacers off, leaving the rear, so we have the even track figured out. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I'm stoked with how it came out. The frame looks good. That steel lip paint is just my favorite. As I emphasized before, it's a rock hard finish. It's black. It looks great. And the Illusion Cherry and silver, I'm stoked about it. Yeah, the truck is looking clean again. I can't wait to get the wheels on it. These tires are absolutely, that's the other thing. I can't really tell you how good the ride quality is, because these tires, I think all of them have at least 2 plugs in them. They're dry rotted, they're bald. I've got probably 20 PSI over what's supposed to be in them. So it's a rough ride because they lose air every 2 days. So I filled it up just to go get the alignment, and I'm gonna have to fill them up again to drive out and get my wheels. So once we get the 22s on, I'll really be able to tell you how it rides, but right now it's already a million times better. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It's looking amazing. It's exactly how I wanted it to turn out. The Illusion Cherry diff cover with that exposed aluminum really matches the super chrome on the cross member. So I'm happy with it. So that's pretty much it, guys. I just wanted to bring you one last clip to show you what it looks like all together and kind of tell you how it drives. I didn't drive very far yet, but one town over, not a big deal. But it's as straight as an arrow, and everything is great, even without the sway bar end links, which aren't, I mean, they're not important, but they're not in, just so you're aware. So stay tuned for the next video. It's just gonna be a short one, but we are gonna be putting the 22s on and it's gonna look great. And after that, there's a little more to come to get this truck ready for, it's May now, so I really want it ready for summer show season. I know it's not a show truck, but it is my baby and that's what I do with it. I do everything with it, but I want to get to some bigger truck shows this year, and so far we're on track. So we got to get these wheels on because these are bald anyways and it just looks terrible. So stay tuned for that video. I'll be starting it tomorrow. I'll try to get it up a couple days after I get this one up, but that's it, guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed me trying to fix up this old 220,000 mile rotted out, clapped out front end. Peace.